Facts First presents 11 People Who Have Found Love with Inanimate Objects. Traditionally, humans fall in love with, well, other humans. Some people fall in love with a person of a different sex, others fall in love with a same-sex partner. There are people who go in an entirely different way, though, when it comes to love. They fall in love with and even marry things, not people. Here are 11 people who have found love with inanimate objects. Aisha Rita Berliner, she didn't fall in love with a person. She fell in love with a wall, the Berlin Wall to be exact. In 1979, she actually married the Berlin Wall. Obviously, the marriage was not legally recognized, but she did change her last name to Berliner Mauer, which means Berlin Wall in Germany. Sadly, things started falling apart, no pun intended, for the couple during the late 80s. She says that she and her husband barely made it when a frenzied mob attacked the wall on November 9, 1989. When the wall finally came down, she said that she was devastated. She says seeing her husband mutilated was the worst moment of her life. So apparently she became a wall widow. Erika Latour Eiffel is a former U.S. soldier. In 2007, she traveled to Paris for a commitment ceremony with the love of her life, the Eiffel Tower. She says that it wasn't her first relationship with an inanimate object either. She says that when she was younger, the other kids were dating each other. She was dating a bridge. In the past, she's had strong feelings for the Berlin Wall, the Golden Gate Bridge, and an archery bow that she named Lance. And that was the bow that she used when she became a world-class archer. When talking about the Eiffel Tower, she says that she knows her love is reciprocated, and she loves her life. Amy Wolf Weber is an organist from Pennsylvania. For close to a decade, Amy has been in a relationship with a magic carpet ride at the Nobles Amusement Park in Ellisburg, Pennsylvania. She says that she remembers the first time she rode that ride, and she's been in love ever since. She even changed her last name to Weber, which is the name of the company that manufactured the ride. At least 10 times a year, Amy travels 160 miles to visit the 1001 Knot. Since falling in love with the ride, she has ridden it now over 3,000 times. Lee Jin-gyu is a 28-year-old man from South Korea, and he is in a serious relationship with his Dakamakaru. That's a type of body pillow with his favorite TV show anime character on it. Since falling in love with his pillow, Lee's friends say that he does everything with it. He takes the pillow to the park or the fun fair. At the festival, Lee takes the pillow on all the rides with him. His friends also say that when they go out to eat, Lee takes the pillow with them then, too. He sits the pillow in its own seat and buys it its own meal even. The two are inseparable. Lee also had the pillow fitted for a wedding dress, but he says he's going to need a bit more time before getting married. Sal 9000 is a 27-year-old Japanese gamer who only goes by his gamer name, Sal 9000. He's in love with a character from a Nintendo DS virtual dating video game called Love Plus. The game features a character named Nini Anagasaki, the perfect girl who is every gamer's dream. Sal 9000 took his love for the character further than most, and in 2009 they had a non-legally binding commitment ceremony. He wore a white tux during the ceremony and live-streamed the entire thing online. After saying his vows, Sal 9000 kissed his Nintendo game controller to seal the deal. Edward Smith has a paraphilia called mechaphilia. It's the physical desire to be intimate with machines. Since he was 15 years old, Edward claims to have been with over 1,000 cars, intimately. His current girlfriend is a white 1974 Volkswagen Beetle named Vanilla. Edward says his relationship with Vanilla is not monogamous. He still maintains a relationship with another girl, a 1973 Opel GT named Cinnamon, and yet another girl, a 1993 Ford Ranger Splash named Ginger. Boy, Edward gets around. He says the cars he's in relationships with don't really mind that the relationships aren't monogamous. Well, at least they haven't spoken up about it. Joaquim A. is obsessed with the way that machines work, but in a different way than most mechanically inclined people. He becomes emotionally involved with them. The 41-year-old man says that his locomotive is who he wants to be with, and his emotions are focused on that. Unfortunately, things between Joaquim and his steam locomotive are not always perfect. He says that because he is so strongly attracted to machines, his passion has led him astray from time to time. He says a broken radiator could lead him astray. Repair jobs have led to infidelity several times in the past. Bill Rivka is a 35-year-old psychology student. Bill is in a relationship that most people would consider to be very strange. He is currently in love and in a relationship with his Mac iBook laptop. That's not the first time that he's had romantic feelings for a laptop. Bill says that he has flirted with many laptops on eBay and he's always had a true, deep feeling toward them. Bill's iBook identifies as male, so he says that he is in a homosexual relationship with his laptop. Although he is a psychology student and should know that falling in love with an iBook isn't normal, it still hasn't stopped him. He says that his relationship is real and genuine, and he doesn't feel the need to justify his love to his colleagues. Doro B works in a factory that makes metal, and while at work she says that she has fallen in love with a female machine that processes metal. She says the first time she used the machine she was enticed by the sweet hum that the machine makes. It piqued her interest, and soon she was in love with it. While at work, Doro tries to keep her affection to a minimum because she's trying to keep things professional between her and the metal processing system. At night, she interacts with a model of the machine. She says the model's not actually a substitute, it is a supplement. That's why she doesn't consider it cheating. She would never fall in love with another machine because she is completely devoted to her metal processing system. Tracy Emin is an artist from the UK. She was holding an exhibit in Hong Kong and she made a shocking announcement there. She told everyone at the exhibit that she had married a rock. She calls it an impressive stone. Tracy told everybody that the stone is very large and it lives in the garden behind her home. When talking about her impressive stone, Tracy says that it is her anchor. It cannot be moved by any force, and it grounds her and helps her feel stable. Tracy also says the stone is monstrous and scary, but not in a bad way. She says that she sees it more as her protector, not something she should fear. Amanda Teague is a middle-aged Irish woman who has a deep connection to the pirate Captain Jack Sparrow. For years, she worked as a Jack Sparrow impersonator, in fact. She claims that the ghost of an 18th-century pirate named Jack visited her one night while she was in bed. He told her that he was executed 300 years earlier. Rather than being scared, though, Amanda started a sexual relationship with him. After a short courtship, Amanda decided to marry Jack at sea in international waters. Jack's voice was spoken through a medium, and the marriage is recognized as a legitimate marriage. After 2 weeks of being married, though, things started to fall apart. Amanda began to experience abscesses and even cirrhosis. She says that Jack was stealing her energy, which was making her sick. When she ended all physical contact with him, Jack did not take it well. Amanda says that he killed her dog to get back at her. Well, that frightened Amanda to the core. She couldn't believe that the ghost she had fallen in love with was acting so vengeful toward her. Finally, she had to end things with Jack. She stopped trying to communicate with him entirely, and she hoped that he wouldn't try to visit her in her dreams. For a while, Amanda was terrified. Finally, though, Jack seemed to let her go. Her dangerous and failed marriage taught her the spirit world is not something you should ever mess with. Since the end of her marriage to Jack, she's completely against mingling with the spirit world. I would also recommend not dating pirates. Of course they're going to steal stuff. That's what they do for a living. Do you know someone who's in love with an inanimate object? Tell us about them in the comments, and subscribe for more.